Okay, this is part 2 of my video because there were people encroaching on my sacred place. That's why I ended part 1 of this video so abruptly, because there was a couple walking towards me as I was talking to my phone, and they were talking as if they owned the cemetery. And so I just ended the video and came to my car. And it's hot in here and it's not ideal, but there are no mosquitoes. Praise the Lord. I wanted to tell you about something really significant that's happened to me recently, and that's I found out which bird makes the call. There is this certain bird call that I've always loved, and I don't remember when it began, but whenever I would hear this call, I would know that God was speaking to me. It was always kind of a spiritual experience when I'd hear this one particular bird call. I'd be walking in the community or in the cemetery or wherever, and I'd suddenly hear, I can't whistle, but I'm not a very good bird. But it's that 2-note, a little bit higher than that, but 2-note call. And whenever I heard it, it was like God was speaking right to me. And I remember long ago, I heard this call, and I looked and I saw a bird sitting on a fence, and I asked, "What kind of bird is that?" And they told me that's a meadowlark. So all these years I have always thought that this call was made by a meadowlark, but recently I decided to find out for sure. And so I Googled it. Now, how do you Google a sound? I didn't even know how to go about this, but I decided, well, I'll Google common Alberta songbirds. And eventually I found a video that gave me the answer, because it listed some common Alberta songbirds and the birds that made those calls. And I found out that the bird that makes this little call, sorry, I don't really know what I'm doing, but it's building suspense. Wait for it, wait for it. No, that's not good either. I don't even know how to do this. Maybe on my knee? Okay. Anyway. Oh, but then my stomach is sticking out. Okay. The bird that makes this call, that has always spoken so profoundly to my heart, is a tiny little chickadee. That's right, a little sparrow-like bird. They're here all year, and most of them in this area are black-capped chickadees. They have black heads. But they make this call when they are trying to attract a mate. So they make this little, and many times you'll hear another chickadee answer. And it's always been such a kiss from God whenever I've heard this call. But what I found out when I Googled it is that this particular call is called the Hey Sweetie call, or the Hi Sweetie call. And I just laughed when I heard that, because I thought, that is so perfect. All of these years, God has been saying to me, "Hi, sweetie. Hi, sweetie." And it really has meant that to me. So that was cool. And now I'm in love with all things chickadee. So for Mother's Day, I asked for a bird feeder, clingers only feeder, because chickadees can hang upside down. And they'll be able to feed at this bird feeder, which I'm going to hang outside my window. And I fully expect to enjoy families of chickadees and God speaking all kinds of things to me through watching them. Did you know that you can feed chickadees? They're one of the only birds that will eat right out of your hand. They're very bold. So I'm hoping to try that. And there are so many interesting things about chickadees. Chickadees are the bunny of the bird world. And so God is speaking in as many ways as he can to all of us all of the time. And I'm 51 years old, and I'm just starting to discover some of the ways that God has been speaking to me my whole life. Another wonderful thing about getting older. So what do you think about that, Lori? Do you have any profound spiritual insights? How is God speaking to you these days? You still haven't told me about the sea, so I'm waiting to hear about that. All right, feel free to make me a video whenever you have time. I love you. Thank you so much for for just being so gloriously Lori. And I'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.